Ladies and gentlemen, this has got to be the worst out of touch article that I've ever read in my life. And reading's hard for me. I'm a Titan main, you know, stuff doesn't add up. But Bungie, you are playing with fire. This has got to be the most stupid decision making I've ever seen for this game, and we are in trouble. Why are you making these decisions? I'm going to go through this and go over some important points and give my opinions because people like hearing it, but this is how you kill your games. There's so much stuff in this article that is going to make people just feel outraged. Do you understand what's coming out 3 days later after your Ash and Iron update? Borderlands 4. What encourages the people to come back and play Destiny? What encourages people to keep playing for Ash and Iron? What encourages people to not get their time valued? And don't even get me started on the people that grinded to 450. Oh, just you wait. First off, Bungie's going to launch the raid September 20th. Rip Clyde. My wedding's on the 19th. I will not be raiding on the 20th just simply because I probably won't be able to see straight that morning. So good luck to everybody that's going to be running this race. I don't know if I'll be able to get on Sunday and play. We'll see, depending on the difficulty. Why is it 10 days after? Oh, wait, I know why. They didn't want to have their raid race the same weekend as Borderlands released, because there's no way that we're going to be doing tons of content the first couple days of Ash and Iron. If it releases on the 9th, why not do the raid on the 12th or the 13th? We know what you're up to. You're dodging it when you shouldn't dodge it, and you should put your foot down and be like, hey, maybe we compete with them. I don't care though. I understand that you can't pick raid dates for people. My wedding's more important, but good luck to everybody that's going to run this epic raid. They're going to change the mechanics of each encounter that will test the coordination of your fire team. When I read that they're changing mechanics of each encounter, this reminds me of one of the only hard mode raids we've had in Destiny 2. Usually how a hard mode works is when you have a harder version of the raid, there's different mechanics. And they've done this in one raid, Leviathan. So this is awesome. When you're doing a harder version of the raid, it shouldn't just be -20 modifier. It should be, hey, there's different mechanics. And we had that in prestige mode. So seeing this is an actual dub. And I'm very excited for this because it encourages you to learn the raid differently. And obviously you're going to be farming this epic raid more because it's going to give you a chance at tier 5 loot. We'll be getting to that very soon. And also you're going to be able to attune what you're farming for. We missed this a lot with Solstice because right now, since I'm 450, I can just go to Kepler and attune a pair of boots, and I can go in the loot cave and just make sure I get more boots. I do get other pieces that drop, but boots drops the most. We didn't have this in Solstice. So we did say, hey, Bungie, it'd be really cool if we could attune our drops in the raid so we could farm for those pair of gauntlets for each character, chest, boots, class items, and different weapons. So this is a dub. This raid, you will get new legendary weapons, a set bonus, and armor drops. A new quest further unravels the mysteries of space and time, unlocks an attunement system for the raid vendor, which is a Poggers Championes. You can attune the raid vendor and get what drops you want. So this is not all L's, this is actually a W. And you will get the catalyst for the raid exotic. So this is amazing. We're like, holy smokes, this is great. But then it gets worse. For the first 48 hours, there will be an epic raid version of the Desert Perpetual, and it will launch with enemies a lot tougher, more aggressive. You'll be able to play at a fixed power level disadvantage like you normally would on a contest mode, and there's going to be more. They've updated the loot for contest mode, so now on your first clear of each encounter in contest, it's going to drop you tier 5 gear. And if you complete all of them, you can claim an exclusive emblem, the raid exotic, and its catalyst. So literally you just have to beat the raid on epic and you get all this, which is amazing. So then we scroll down. By the way, shout out to CB and Evan. They're going to be returning to Bungie Studios to host this world's first race. They'll be catching a red eye right after my wedding, which is absolutely dope. I'm glad my friends will be there. Then we roll down to this. This is where it gets a little L, okay? And by a little L, I mean a lot. With the release of the epic raid to keep success in encounters focused on action gameplay and create a level playing field for players across the platforms, we're rolling out a newer version of Not Swap for Contest mode. This modifier will now reset your super and ability energy, special ammo, and heavy ammo, as well as remove all ammo and orbs on the ground when you change exotic or legendary armor or weapon ammo types. I do want to point out that you could still swap surges. So if you have your raid set on, instead you go from scavengers to ammo finders before damage starts, you can swap over to a triple font and a triple surge setup, and you will not get punished by this. So technically it's the same thing. This modifier will also take effect when 3 or more feats are activated in the standard difficulty of the epic raid. So if you want to do a 3 feat epic raid after contest mode goes away, not swap will be in there. Bungie, it's not our fault you designed a raid where you just hip fire an outbreak and a Thunderlord. You designed that raid. You wanted us to be in that boring meta, and we had to loadout swap for day one. I said this in previous videos. If you weren't loadout swapping to beat that day one Desert Perpetual raid, you probably didn't win, because you had to do 3 loadout swaps pretty much every single encounter. And if your team didn't, congratulations to you guys, but boy oh boy, that was something. So it's Bungie's fault that they designed a raid like that. Why punish the player base? Also want to point out that the bonus damage and the damage resistance you get on your artifact currently for rocking new gear, you will able to use this in the contest mode. Use that to your benefits to have more damage resist and more damage output. But again, we don't know what the ban list is. They haven't gone over the ban list. Are they going to ban Outbreak? I doubt it. I don't think they're going to punish the player base that bad, but you never know. They could go after it. You never know. If they ban Outbreak, people are just going to be on Thunderlord, and there's going to be a huge ammo problem. Just want to point out here, they are letting you guys know that they will ban you live. If you are playing with cheaters to try and get this clear, like 400 out of the 600 teams did for the world's first race, they will ban you on the spot. Do not pay for cheaters. Do not pay those third-party websites. Don't let anyone join you. Only play with trusted players or you will get banned. Right here, they talk about if you beat all the encounters in the raid, you get more loot. So defeat all 3 bosses before beating the final boss, you get an extra piece of gear. That's a dub. But again, we don't know. We don't know if that's going to be a thing or not. In additional to this, we're introducing 2 weekly challenges. So there's going to be 2 weekly challenges on the raid to give you more loot. The first challenge gives you an extra piece of loot from your first clear on the encounter each week in either version of the raid. Completing this challenge will unlock additional one that provides bonus loot from the epic raid. So this is giving you reason to grind the raid, which I do like about this. This is the good stuff that I like. Grinding the raid and getting that 4-piece raid set, especially at tier 5, I'm all over that because I want that set. We're removing the requirements to complete the combined mastery triumph to increase your gear tier. All Desert Perpetual gear will now drop at tier 2 in the standard version, tier 3 in the epic, no matter what your current power level is. We have added a source of all gear earned during a full clear to drop at up to a +2 of your base tier. Adding feats will increase your chances. That's how you're going to get your tier 5 gear from the epic raid. That makes sense. And last, for future raids arriving in Asher and Iron, players who complete the map and compass quest as well as the epic raid can then approach the Simulant Ansible to receive a new quest. So this is how you're going to get this new quest. Complete this new quest will unlock the ability to attune any previously acquired piece of gear from the Desert Perpetual, improving its chances of dropping from any encounter. So you're going to be able to farm raid gear efficiently. I do think this is a dub, but this is probably one of the only dubs that you're going to see me read. And this is where the portal updates. I just want to point out here before I scald this, Bungie, you're so out of touch. Just because people are doing stuff in the portal right now doesn't mean they're having fun. They wanted more diversity, and they don't want their time to just be spat on. You're not valuing people's time right now. You're punishing players for not being high power right now, and you're just encouraging people to not keep playing. The solo ops dominance is especially stark between 400 to 450. That's because people are farming primes, where the best way to attain prime engrams is to get A grades as fast as possible. I can tell you right now, you do not need A grades to get primes this week. Ignore the side objectives and farm these primes faster. We want to make this more interesting portion of the game, one that makes attaining prime engrams in the portal more rewarding. Starting next week, we are increasing the time limits in fire team ops, direct launch, matchmaking tiers, giving players significantly more time to complete challenging match-made Grandmaster. This should help players reach A grades more consistently, resulting in better rewards. Do not get baited by this. Do not even go near fire team ops. It's not worth it. Stay in the mines, do 2-minute runs of Caldera, and get your prime engrams, because it's not going to be easy to get more power level like we are in solo op in Ashen Iron. So additionally, they're doing improvements planned for the portal in Ashen Iron. The time bonus system should give more value in trading off speed versus killing everything in fire team ops, and have a meaningful role in earning scores in solo ops and pinnacle ops. Pretty much, they don't want you to go fast. They want you to play Destiny the way you want to play. And what I want you to do is crumble that up after you print it out and wipe your ass with it, because it's such a lie. I'm trying to hold back right now, but it's just, this is so bad. Just, we don't want to go do fire team ops. Yes, we want to get out of the mines, but what's the point? Why do you want to go play fire team ops and do balding activities where you don't get rewarded? I don't want to go do some stupid mechanic where I'm like, hey, help me, I can't move, come and interact with me and I can't move. We don't care about that modifier. As soon as we see that, pull out your ghost, go to orbit, send me back to solo ops. We don't care. You could put 4 completion rewards in fire team ops. People will not go do it. They don't want to. If people don't want to do that activity, don't force them. Good grades in fire team ops should be less risky and more challenging to get than they are now, and closer to solo and pinnacle ops activities. So pretty much what this means is when you're doing fire team ops, there's sometimes where you kill everything and sometimes you barely get the score. That's not on us. That's on poor design. It has nothing to do with the player base. We don't care. Fire team ops should be at least a good place to earn power as solo or pinnacle ops. That's impossible because we're doing solo ops in 3 minutes or less. So Bungie, whoever typed this out, just delete it. You fucked up. But I do agree that fire team ops should be more rewarding. But the fact is, you know in your head that you're going to get a drop every 3 minutes doing solo ops. So if you're not doing another activity that's dropping stuff every 3 to 5 minutes, there's no reason to do it. That's just how Destiny players think. They want to do the most efficient way. This is a huge W, by the way. The way that equip power and account power is confusing, we're fixing that. So right now, if you're playing on a 400 Titan and then you switch over to your Hunter that's 350, you have to infuse your second character first to go do the portal activities. The way that they're going to do it now is if the game knows you're 400, all your characters are 400, so when you switch to those characters, it will have your account power at 400 and you won't have to infuse, so you can backfill. So this is good. We'd like more variety in pinnacle ops, including a way to earn pinnacle ops gear matchmaking. Yeah, they baited us with this because when I scroll down, it's going to get worse. We would like to give regular opportunities to matchmake into the activities on Onslaught and the Coil. No one wants to do Onslaught and Coil. We want to make it easier for more obvious for everyone in the fire team to get the best rewards, even at wide power differentials. Still not enough. We think the various Bane's challenges and boons should be well balanced against each other. Yeah, but we just one-shot everything. So we just throw a nade, or we throw a bonk hammer, or we throw a grapple. Everything dies. That's not challenging activities. We also want to think there should be more things to do in general. As we add brand new activities to the portal. When I scroll down and show you what they're bringing to the portal, you'll see. Brand new activities, huh? And bring older legacy activities in. We want to be able to feature these more effectively for daily power gain. I think they showed one new activity, but they showed a lot of legacy. And then, this is a W again, they'd like to make conquests repeatable for portal rewards. Should have been like this when it launched. So now let's talk about ultimate difficulty, what you unlock at 451. Ultimate difficulty will be available for Ash and Iron launches. Ultimate difficulty is available starting at 451 power. Ultimate includes 2 new player stakes. Remember, these are optional. Pressure cooker, finish under the time limit or get kicked to orbit. Extinction, all players are limited to a single life. There are no revives. If you want to put these stakes on, you could do them to have more fun, but if you mess up, you go to orbit. These are optional and are intended to provide the most significant challenge to even the most experienced guardians and include score boost to match. So you will get rewarded for it. What's the point in doing them? Ultimate Fire Team Ops matchmaking will open in week 10, the week after Ash and Iron launches. So 3 days before the raid. Here's where it gets a little weird. Players can reach platinum and diamond rewards ranks will be 450 to 499. Diamond rewards will be 500 to 550. While in platinum and diamond, you can earn an A+ grade in PvE. So they're going to force you to do that A+ grade, it seems like. You will need an A+ to qualify for tier 5 gear until platinum 3, where A grades start giving tier 5. So they're pretty much just pointing out once you hit 500, you'll get spoiled with tier 5. And on the way, 450 to 499, you will get tier 5. So this is good. This will be good. Remember, you're going from 450 to 500. You do not need primes to drop. And this is what I'm talking about. Me, as a grinder, I have to grind out 400 to 450 in primes and 500 to 550 in primes. So that's 100 power levels that I needed to do for primes. Community doesn't have to do that if you're not there. You just get to do normal drops to 500, then primes to 550. But also, I guess it puts me closer to 500, but you know what I mean. Once you reach Diamond 1, B+ qualifies you for tier 5 gear. So pretty much once you hit 500, you could do slow easy B+ runs and it qualifies you for a tier 5 gear. And at platinum 3, even a B will get you tier 5. So they're just letting you know that once you hit 500, it's GG. We're changing reward multiplier to use account highest power rather than equip power to determine the basis of the multiplier. So that's good. That also applies in PvP as well. Sometimes I would have to switch my gear when I was playing trials to have higher stuff on for tier 5s. So that's pretty much going away. There's going to be a new portal booster in Ash and Iron reward pass. If you have it in your normal pass already and you're maxed out, you're okay. And they're just saying if you're already at 15% score boost, which I already am, I get a whopping 10 enhancement cores instead of the boost. They're going to do some time adjustments. Pretty much they're saying going to cook the timers here because they know that people don't take that long. 35-minute Starcross timer and an 8-minute Caldera timer. They're pretty much going to adjust the timers lower because they know that people aren't taking that long to do it. So loadout restrictions, I really didn't understand this section either. They're worried about effects of loadout swapping in the portal. Armor 3.0, we wanted to significantly increase the scoring value for locked loadouts, making it, a good advantage to play with. So pretty much they wanted us to do that. And then this is where people start getting screwed. They're saying it made it a bit too easy to earn scores in expert difficulty. Remember, expert players aren't even in Grandmaster yet, so why punish them? We're bringing locked loadouts back down to where we originally imagined it and are opening up some design space for new loadout modifiers. They're adding a new loadout player stake called Touche, which combines locked loadouts and avant-garde restrictions. Take that out of the game. Who thought this was good? Take this modifier and trash it. We do not care. Do you know how annoying it is to do conquests and you can't even rock a class item? You have to rock a featured exotic or go in with no exotics. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, man. We're also adding a selection of new loadout restriction modifiers along these, starting at expert tier. I don't think these should be an expert tier. They should be higher. Explosive weapons include rocket-assisted sidearms, rocket-assisted pulses, medieval weapons, you can guess which, Old West weapons, yeehaw. So stuff like this is how they make it fun. So like, hey, rock certain weapons in these playlists and we'll give you a score. That makes sense because you could just put that on to get a score modifier. You're playing the way you want to play here. This doesn't let you play the way you want to play, it just doesn't make sense. Here's where chat started getting lit and myself. It's clear that there are two general groups, the short ops like Whisper and Starcross, and the longer ones like Encore and Kel's Fall, which lead to us following changes in these activities. Encore, end activity engrams reduced to 2. So now all the people that farmed Encore to get to where they were 400 plus, they get rewarded. But people that are just trying to keep playing the game and grinding, they get screwed over. So now you're gonna only get 2 completion rewards, and mid-activity chests are reduced to 2. Star-crossed end activity engrams reduced to 1. I could do Star-crossed in about 7 minutes, 8 minutes with a stacked team, 10 on a casual team. The fact that you're only giving us 1 completion reward on a 10-minute activity, it's just terrible. So out of touch. And mid-activity chests are reduced to 1. Whisper, mid-activity chest removed, so there is no chest in the middle of Whisper anymore. It's just 1 or 2 completion rewards on the end. I think it's 1. That's just terrible. And we could generally see 4 activity groups, including both Inverted Spire, Liminality being harder than anticipated compared to shorter Fire Team Ops and Widow's Court, consistently being the longest activity. So here's where they try and bait you. Onslaught increased to 4 drops. Why would you want to do an Onslaught for 4 drops? Stupid. It's pointless. Also, I want to point out here, everything that I just read, not one thing said anything about Crucible. People that play Crucible, people that play Comp, people that play Trials, that's going to be consistent, easy level farming, but PvE players get smoked. I just don't understand the whole purpose of this. Here was that sentence I talked about. As mentioned in the July 3rd TWID, 400 to 450 will no longer be limited to prime engrams. You will be able to level up 500 any portal activity. Once you reach 500, you will be required to grind the primes to 550. I just think there was no way for them to do this. The reason why they wanted us to grind primes from 400 to 450 was to slow us down. Now let's talk about prime engrams. Oh boy. Prime engrams have 2 real functions right now. They're random, rare chances to get gear tier boost over what you would normally get. And they are a primary way of earning power once you get to 500. However, because they slide into your loot stream without any fanfare, they can sometimes get lost, said nobody. Starting in Ash and Iron, these engrams will no longer automatically decrypt once they hit your inventory. Instead, you're going to have to go to Master Raoul and decrypt the engram. Why? You're just slowing people down now. This is a really bad change. So you have to stop what you're doing and go to the tower. Just like Destiny 1, additionally, rather than just giving you a single chance at a prime engram at the end of each portal activity, you will now get multiple chances based on the number of completion rewards from the activity. So if you go do a completion reward activity in Ashen Iron for a prime engram that says 2 completion rewards or 3, they're saying you're going to have a better chance at getting a prime. Still don't think it's worth it. I'd rather go do solo ops that's faster. They really got to push it on us to show us that it works. Because you got to remember, most of the stuff that we're doing right now, Bungie's all wrong about it. They're saying that you need to get A+ rewards to get primes. I'm here to tell you that it's a lie, because I've had people for the last 2 days go do K1 runs, 2-minute runs, ignoring the side objective, and they're getting 6 primes in 100 runs, meaning you don't need no new gear on, you don't need the 8-piece juicer on, you don't need to do the objective, you just need to consistently get clears to get these primes. In Ashen Iron, you can't do that no more. So it's like all the people that are grinding right now, everything's going to change in Ashen Iron, and this is why it's just so weird to me. So fire team ops. Brand new activity called Redacted. Ooh, why do we need Behemoth and Echo Core Battlegrounds in fire team ops? 3 strikes. This is where it gets a little better. Hypernet, Insight, Fallen Saber. Farming Insight, Terminus, and Fallen Saber, we did before Edge of Fate even launched, because that's how we were getting golf balls, grinding GMs, but it makes no sense to even bring these. And then 3 expeditions from Season of the Plunder. Ladies and gentlemen, no one wants to do these expeditions. We don't care. What is this? Tomb of Elders? I don't think so. We already paid for that. We're good. We're good. And then they hit you with these daily focuses. They're using these. They're trying to use this bait right here. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I'm just not a fan. Pinnacle Ops, 3 dungeon layers. Why not all dungeon layers? Why not all dungeons and raids? Why not give us more stuff to do? 2 exotic missions, Presage and Avalon. I can tell you right now, Avalon sucks. Presage isn't bad. It's quick, but like, dude. Then they're going to hit you with more bonus slots, you know, random choice of a dungeon layer, alternating between Presage and Avalon. What they're trying to do is everything that I just read here, I know I skipped over some stuff. What they want to do is they want you to think that if you go do the portal, don't live in solo ops, go do fire team ops, go do pinnacle ops, get rewarded for doing different activities. But what they don't realize is they're taking away the fun. You're not having fun anymore because it's a chore. You're sitting there and being like, oh, well, this doesn't have bonus drops, so let's go do this activity. Okay, we did this activity. Now let's go do something else. Bungie's forcing that on people. What are you doing? You're so out of touch with the community, and I've never read, I'm going to say it again. This is the biggest piece of shit TWID that I've ever read. What are you doing? Watch the player base. Watch them. You did this, you wanted it. The player base is gonna just tank. Back to the, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna crash out. I'm not gonna do it. Solo ops is intended to be a quick, reliable way to earn power when you have time to kill at the start or end of the season or end of the session. I can't even read. Sorry, editor. Solo ops is intended to be a quick, reliable way to earn power when you have time to kill at the start or end of the session. You need to complete a few objectives in low stress, low commitment venue. It was never intended to be above all best method for leveling for all player types. What? Are you kidding me? Hey, by the way, since we're making changes, the little run you guys make us do in these solo ops that adds 30 seconds to the run, why don't we just cut that out? Room, boss, see you later. The fact that you thought that we wouldn't be the fastest in solo ops is buffoonish. There's no way. I want one of you to do this power level grind. Oh, please do it. But right now, the speed, ease, and consistency of earning top rewards is drowning out most of the other options, especially at 400 plus. To start balancing this with other portal activities, we're using a relatively light touch. Light touch, they say. Are you ready? Reduce power earned for a given grade in solo ops by 1 compared to fire team ops, pinnacle ops, and crucible. So what this means is if you're in solo ops farming the most efficient way, you get a +2 instead of a +3. Only on power level grinding. Your primes are not effective. But the fact that you go and do solo grinding, you get a +2 instead of a +3 for people that are just grinding power. What are we doing? Sound the bells, sound the alarms. Burger King's hiring. I'm not sitting here trying to rage bait or nothing. And I really hope that people are watching this part of the video and you've made it this long. I don't like getting on Bungie's butt. Ass. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be all PG here and nice. I've been streaming this game for 9.5 years. You guys are making the biggest mistake. I'll still be here because someone's got to be here to make these videos and still keep telling you how these stupid decisions are being made. I'll be here. But man, you're trying to really piss everybody off. So don't worry, guys. No matter how bad the game gets, I'll be here until they shut if they shut the servers off, then I got to go somewhere else. All right. So let's get a W here. Conquests. We are adding 4 additional Grandmaster Conquests with 2 Ultimate Conquests. The Grandmaster Conquests round out the requirements for the Conquer title, and the Ultimate Conquests are needed to complete Guardian rank 11. So you must do these if you want Guardian rank 11. But also, you're going to get a sweet new seasonal Ultimate Conquest emblem too to say you conquered the conquests. All conquests are going to be replayable, which is a W. That means we kind of get our GMs back. You will earn normal scored portal loot for additional completions. So what I'm thinking here is that right now, Grandmaster Delve drops a mint retro. So when I hit 500 power, can I go farm Delve at 500 power and get a tier 5 mint? Hopefully I can. So this is a dub. But again, this should have been in the game right now. So many players are playing those conquests and they can't go farm. It should have been a thing from the get-go. But again, remember what I always say, how Bungie holds on to the good ideas for future installments? They do this on purpose. They give you a bad delivery and they fix it 3 to 4 months down the road to make it look like they're listening. They were going to fix it anyway. They ain't fooling us. Future changes. We know the portal needs even more tuning and there's some things that take longer to build. Expect the following in the weeks of Ash and Iron launch. I just think all this is stupid. A scoring tuning pass to all modifiers. Onslaught, the coiled Tomb of Elders will be moving from Fire Team Ops to Pinnacle Ops. No one cares. They'll get their own bonus to focus in the Pinnacle Ops. Just like Fire Team Ops, the featured activity in the slot will be matchmaking. That's a dub. Bonus slot in the Fire Team Ops will be replaced by a random choice. All Pinnacle Ops should be match made. Here's where the cash grab comes into play. You get rewards from past seasons. So pretty much what this is they're going to add a monument of seasons past. And if you don't have any of this stuff, you can actually purchase some of these old cosmetics that were in these season passes, which is insane. So I'm not going to go over all this, but I'm just saying, like, it's all cosmetic stuff. So if you missed out on some cosmetics, you could purchase the stuff. More Bungie money stuff. And then right here at the end, it's kind of cool. You can exchange some stuff. You can exchange your chronologs for like deep side harmonizers, golf balls. So like this is a dub, but I really just skipped over this section because it kind of just made me mad because it was, you know, pay to win stuff or encourage people to buy more stuff, you know. Then Bungie tells you to complete your seasonal challenges because we're going to get a new season pass for Ash and Iron. So it's not like we can stack up XP like we normally do for a new installment. And again, they're just coming down here to talk about trials and mayhem. Again, this is what I'm talking about PvP. You could just go into, you know, mayhem and trials and, you know, get spoiled with tier 5 loot and stuff. And PvP players can play comp and get spoiled with tier 5 loot. And none of this affects Ash and Iron Crucible players. PvP seems like it's going to be easy to level up still, but like PvE, the mines are screwed. The Fire Team Ops are screwed. The Pinnacle Ops are, it's just so weird. So final thoughts on this. Okay. I know I've been sitting here cooking and yapping for a long time. I just want to have fun again. Like I'm not even sitting here like trying to sugarcoat anything. I want to have fun again. I want the game to feel fun again. I want to have fun while streaming the game. Don't get me wrong. I've been having so much fun the last month, honestly, just making these videos and talking about Bungie and you know, grinding my power. I've actually been having a lot of fun. I have. Is it the most exciting gameplay? No. I want to do raids with people again. I want to help people do the raids, but there's no loot incentive. People aren't even raiding. People aren't even doing the old raids. It doesn't feel like Destiny anymore. But again, when it comes down to my career, I do need to cover Destiny. I need to make videos. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to be the guy. Someone's got to be someone that just speaks up and talks about this, and we don't glaze the game every week. But I can tell you right now, I mean, there's other options. There's other options that are going to be coming up. I'm going to definitely try out Borderlands 4. We got Arc Raiders. I'm never going to leave Destiny 2 because I got to be here to stand up for what's wrong. This is some of the worst stuff I've ever read. This is out of touch. Bungie, if you really care, you need to just here's my final solution. All they got to do is just come clean. Do like, you know how Joe Blackburn released a video and he talked about the state of the game? Bungie needs to do this. They just need to release a video, a short blog talking about how they're worried about, you know, the player base and how they're worried about the gameplay, and maybe just go silent for 90 days. Wait for Renegades to drop and then just go silent for like 90 days. Nothing really crazy after Renegades in the dungeon, like do some mid updates, but really take time to give yourself that 90-day window and fix the game and improvements where we need. because doing these stupid changes, it's not going to be good. And I just want people to understand too that looking at Steam chart numbers, Steam charts don't mean anything. You need to check the console numbers. Just because Steam numbers are down doesn't mean that console numbers aren't skyrocketing. I think console runs this game. PC players are just a third of the player base. So just because those Steam chart numbers are down doesn't mean anything. But when those player base numbers go down because of console not playing, that's where Bungie has to worry. I don't really know what the future holds for this game, man, because just reading this I'm still pissed. I'm not really worried about missing the raid. Hey, my wedding's on the 19th. I'm probably gonna be hungover on the 20th. It ain't going nowhere. Sunday, when everybody leave, if I can come home and find a team and just smoke the raid real quick, I'll do it. But obviously, there's a reason why they're holding another race for this raid. It's going to be hard. Each encounter is going to be tough. There's probably going to be a new encounter with not swap being activated. It's really going to hurt some teams, and it's probably going to be damage checked. So good luck to all the teams. Hopefully Bungie can correct some of the stuff that we just read, because some of this portal changes just makes no sense. If people like doing solo ops, they should be able to do it. People don't want to do fire team ops, they shouldn't have to do it. Just add more variety. All the stuff that we've paid for in the game in the past, just make it so it's in the portal, or we can click on like a Vault of Glass right now and be able to add some modifiers and still get loot from it. So that way we're doing more content in the game and being rewarded for our time. Sound off in the comments. See you guys in the next one.